Krishna is a major Hindu god that is the 8th incarnation of Vishnu. He is one of the most popular heroes in Hinduism. Krishna is described as the supreme being and creator of the universe, and in some Hinduistic sects, he is the supreme source himself. There are stories of Krishna using his skills to slay enemies, demons, and monsters. Krishna's history can be traced back to as early as 1500 BC. They claim that the New Testament writers stole some of the stories of Krishna and put them into their story of Jesus, because allegedly they were both born of a virgin. They were both born on December 25th. Both were raised from the dead. Both were crucified and stabbed with sharp weapons. Both emphasized love and peace in their teachings and the similarity in their names. So let's go through all these claims. First off, Krishna was not born of a virgin. The Hindu story says that Krishna was mentally transmitted from the Hindu god Vasudeva to his mother's womb. This is a lot different than a virgin birth, as Krishna was the 8th child of his mother. Now, I'm pretty sure that if someone's having their 8th child, they're not a virgin. The idea that they were both born on December 25th is just a historical error. Krishna is actually believed to have been born in August. While the exact birthday of Jesus is not determined, Christmas was chosen as a holiday to celebrate the birth of Christ, but that's not when Christians believe Jesus was actually born. The idea that Krishna resurrected is just absurd. When Krishna rose, it was a spiritual resurrection, almost immediately after his death, where he gave up his body, whereas the resurrection of Jesus was a bodily resurrection from a tomb after 3 days. There are major differences between the death of Christ and of Krishna. Christ was nailed onto the cross, where there is different stories about the death of Krishna. The most common understanding of the death of Krishna was that Krishna was shot with an arrow while under a tree, but there are different versions of this story. All these examples of the death of Krishna are much more different than the Roman-style crucifixion that we see in the New Testament. Another alleged similarity is that they both promoted love and peace in their teachings. This is really just an absurd idea, as many religious figures, real or not, advocated for love and for peace. This is because love and peace are both part of the general revelation that God has revealed to us all. Also, contrary to most postmodernist thoughts, Jesus didn't just preach about love. That was only a part of his teaching. Don't believe me? Just read the Bible, read the Gospels, you'll see for yourself. Finally, regarding their names, the name of Christ, Christos, is the Greek equivalent of calling him the Messiah, which means the Anointed One. Krishna, that name, is an unrelated name from a different language, which means black, dark, or dark blue. These are completely different names from completely different languages with completely different meanings behind their names. There is no similarity. They are completely different. If anyone stole anything, it's the Hindus stealing stories from Jesus. Two of the Hindu sources, which have very confusing names, I'm just going to put them underneath here so you can see the names, which share some of the similar information about Krishna and Jesus, come from around the 7th century AD at their earliest. That's why scholar Benjamin Walker said that, quote, there can be no doubt that the Hindus borrowed tales from Christianity, but not the same. So, to wrap things up here, the idea of Jesus being crafted from pagan figures, such as Krishna, does not make any logical sense when these claims are looked at. What does make sense, however, is that Jesus went onto the cross for your sins, and he died and he rose from the dead. And if you believe in him and make him the Lord of your life, you will be with God for eternity. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm Zach. This is Adhered Apologetics, and I will see you next time.